Alex Mercer had been on the alien station for nearly a year now. What had begun as loneliness and fear had transformed into curiosity, mastery, and creativity. The station, once silent and dormant, now thrummed with energy and purpose. Lights pulsed in patterns, doors responded to Alex's presence, and machinery long untouched hummed as though it had been waiting for him all along. But even with all his work, Alex remained aware that the station's true potential extended far beyond his own understanding. One day, as he monitored the communication arrays, Nova, the AI companion he had activated months before, projected a soft alert. Signals were approaching. Alex squinted at the holographic map. Two small ships, unknown in design, were entering the station's orbit. They were cautious, scanning the area, but unmistakably heading toward the station. Alex's pulse quickened. For the first time, he would have visitors. The ships docked in the central bay, their alien pilots observing with wide, curious eyes. Alex greeted them cautiously, unsure what to expect. But the visitors were friendly, intelligent beings who had heard whispers of a station alive with energy and innovation. They were explorers, not invaders. Their initial caution quickly gave way to wonder as they saw the station in full operation. Alex guided them through the corridors he had explored and repaired. The visitors were amazed at the efficiency and complexity of the station. Doors opened automatically, lights shifted to indicate their paths, and holographic displays highlighted points of interest. They watched as Alex activated systems that had lain dormant for centuries, impressed by his understanding and creativity. Nova assisted in translations and explanations, projecting diagrams and sequences that conveyed ideas across species. The visitors asked many questions. How had he repaired the machines? How did he understand the alien technology? Alex explained carefully, demonstrating his processes and emphasizing observation, patience, and problem-solving. The visitors realized that his success was not just in skill, but in the human approach to creativity. His methods were simple but effective. Study carefully, test hypotheses, and learn from results. Word spread quickly. Explorers from neighboring star systems began arriving, curious about the human station that was alive, functional, and filled with remarkable technology. Each visitor brought new questions and perspectives, and Alex eagerly shared his discoveries. He guided them through holographic data cores, showing star maps, energy systems, and mechanical designs. The station, which had once waited silently, now buzzed with conversation, ideas, and collaboration. Alex noticed that the station seemed to thrive on the attention. Systems became more responsive, doors opened faster, and lights pulsed in harmonious patterns. It was as though the station was not only alive, but learning from interactions with other beings. Alex realized that his human creativity had awakened a dormant intelligence that now welcomed collaboration across species. Together with his visitors, Alex began experimenting with the alien vehicle prototype he had discovered. They adapted controls, tested energy fields, and created safe simulations for learning. The vehicle's potential was enormous. It could navigate complex energy currents, move with precision within the station, and even explore areas previously inaccessible. Visitors were amazed at how quickly Alex and his team adapted the technology for practical use. The station became more than a place of discovery. It became a hub of learning. Alex organized areas for experimentation, teaching newcomers how to operate systems, understand energy flows, and maintain machinery. Lessons were designed to be simple yet effective, emphasizing creativity, patience, and understanding rather than memorization. Visitors left with a newfound respect for human ingenuity and an appreciation for the lessons the station could teach. One day, a group of scientists from a distant star system requested to study the crystalline data cores. Alex demonstrated the processes he had used to interpret their contents. Together, they unlocked hidden schematics, revealing advanced energy manipulators, environmental control systems, and navigation protocols. The station's knowledge was immense, and Alex's guidance ensured that it was shared responsibly. Without overwhelming the visitors or damaging delicate systems, Nova played an essential role, projecting simulations, monitoring safety, and assisting with complex calculations. Alex realized that combining human creativity with artificial intelligence created a new form of collaboration, one that allowed them to explore systems and ideas far beyond what either could achieve alone. Visitors were inspired by this model, understanding that innovation was not limited to a single species. The station's legend grew. Traders, explorers, and scholars spoke of the human who had awakened a forgotten station, turning it into a center of knowledge and collaboration. Stories of Alex's ingenuity traveled faster than any signal. It became clear that the station itself was a symbol of what humans could achieve: creativity, adaptability, and the ability to thrive even in isolation. Alex continued his work with humility. He knew that the station's full potential was far from realized. Each new visitor offered fresh ideas, prompting him to experiment with advanced energy systems, environmental control, and interstellar communication. The station had become a living laboratory, one where curiosity was rewarded, mistakes were lessons, and innovation was endless. One of Alex's proudest moments came when a team of explorers proposed a new use for the station's energy systems, creating temporary habitats on the surface of the gas giant's moons. Using a combination of alien technology and human ingenuity, Alex designed modular structures that could deploy quickly, withstand environmental conditions, and provide life support. It was a tangible demonstration of how human creativity could solve problems in ways even advanced alien technology could not predict. As the months passed, the station's influence expanded. Communication arrays transmitted messages across star systems, attracting more visitors and inspiring distant civilizations. Alex's work showed that humans were not limited to their own technology or understanding. They could adapt, innovate, and thrive anywhere. The station itself became a beacon, a testament to the power of intellect, patience, and collaboration. Through it all, Alex never lost sight of the station's original purpose. He had been abandoned, but that experience had allowed him to awaken something extraordinary. Isolation had given him focus, creativity, and an opportunity to prove the value of human ingenuity. Now, with visitors arriving daily, he realized that the station could serve as a bridge between civilizations, a place where knowledge and innovation were shared freely. Visitors often asked Alex about his life before the station. He told them of the initial panic, the loneliness, and the fear of being forgotten. But he also shared the lessons he had learned: the importance of observation, the value of patience, and the power of creativity. They saw that being human was not a limitation but a unique advantage, an ability to think differently, adapt and solve problems in ways that machines or even highly advanced species might not. One evening, Alex stood on a balcony overlooking the gas giant and the lights of the station below. Nova projected a holographic summary of the day's discoveries: new energy configurations, successful experiments, and visitors' innovations. Alex felt a deep sense of pride, not in personal achievement but in what humans could accomplish when they applied their creativity and intelligence. The station had become legendary, not because of power or force but because of ingenuity, collaboration, and vision. The station continued to evolve. New sectors were opened, systems improved, and devices enhanced. Alex introduced processes that allowed visitors to interact safely with the alien technology, creating an environment where curiosity was rewarded and mistakes were part of learning. The station became more than a place. It became an ecosystem of ideas where humans and aliens alike could explore, experiment, and innovate. Alex realized that this was the moment he had been preparing for, even without knowing it. Being abandoned had seemed like a disaster at first, but it had given him the space to grow, experiment, and ultimately transform a silent, forgotten station into a living legend. The knowledge he shared, the lessons he taught, and the innovations he inspired would ripple across star systems for generations. As night, or what passed for night on the station, settled, Alex looked out at the glowing corridors, the visitors' lights, and the hum of energy. He understood that the station's story was no longer just his own. It was the story of human ingenuity, of creativity in the face of isolation, and of the ability to turn challenges into opportunity. The station was alive, and through it humans had left a mark that would be remembered forever. The legend of Alex Mercer, the human engineer who had awakened a forgotten station and transformed it into a hub of learning and innovation, had begun. Across star systems, whispers of the station's wonders spread, inspiring explorers, scientists, and thinkers. And Alex knew that this was only the beginning. The station still had secrets, challenges, and possibilities waiting to be discovered. In the quiet moments, Alex reflected on his journey. He had started as a human abandoned in the depths of space, uncertain and afraid. Now he was a master, an innovator, and a teacher. The station was no longer a relic. It was alive, vibrant, and legendary. And at its heart, guiding its... Alex Mercer had long since become more than just a human engineer abandoned on an alien station. He was now a pioneer, an innovator, and a teacher whose work had transformed the station into a hub of knowledge and creativity. The once silent corridors were alive with movement. Lights pulsed rhythmically and machines hummed in perfect coordination. The station had become legendary, not because of its technology alone, but because of the human spirit that had unlocked its potential. The first rays of simulated light filled the central hub as Alex began his day. Even after months and months of continuous work, he still felt the thrill of discovery. New visitors arrived daily, scientists, explorers, and curious travelers from distant systems. Each brought unique perspectives, ideas, and questions, challenging Alex to innovate further. Alex guided them patiently, showing them the ways he had learned to communicate with the station. He explained how observation, creativity, and logic could awaken systems long dormant. Visitors marveled as doors opened at their approach, energy systems adjusted to their presence, and holographic interfaces revealed data in clear, visual formats. Every visitor left with a deep appreciation for human ingenuity and the lessons the station had to teach. Nova, Alex's AI companion, had evolved alongside him. Its holographic projections displayed complex simulations, assisted in experiments, and even helped manage the station's expanding systems. Alex often smiled at how Nova, though artificial, had become a trusted partner in his work. Together, they had unlocked secrets that no single species could have accomplished alone. The combination of human creativity and AI precision had turned the station into a living laboratory. One of the most exciting developments was the station's capability to expand exploration beyond its orbit. Using the alien vehicle prototype Alex had discovered months ago, they could safely send unmanned drones to the gas giant's moons, capturing data, surveying landscapes, and even deploying temporary research modules. Alex had designed these modules using a combination of alien technology and human ingenuity, creating habitats that could sustain life and research for extended periods. Visitors were amazed. "This is incredible," one of them said, examining the energy manipulators Alex had adapted for interstellar travel. No species could have done this alone. Alex smiled. "It's about curiosity, patience, and learning from every experience," he replied. "The station's technology is advanced, but it needed a human mind to understand and unlock it fully." The station's legend had grown far beyond the local system. Signals from the communication arrays reached star systems Alex had never known existed. Curious beings followed the trail, eager to witness the station's wonders. And every visitor who arrived carried back stories of human ingenuity, creativity, and resilience. The station had become a symbol, a living testament to what humans could achieve even when abandoned and alone. Alex often reflected on the journey that had brought him here. He remembered the initial panic, the silence, and the fear of never being found. Those early days of loneliness had taught him resilience, observation, and problem-solving. They had allowed him to focus fully on the station, to learn its patterns, and to develop solutions that no one else could have conceived. Without that isolation, perhaps the station would have remained dormant forever. With the station thriving, Alex turned his attention to creating a lasting legacy. He began developing programs that would teach future visitors how to understand alien technology without risking damage or confusion. Holographic tutorials, interactive simulations, and guided experiments became standard across the station. Every new arrival could learn from his methods, ensuring that the station remained a place of discovery for generations to come. The AI Nova became a central part of this educational effort. It could monitor visitors' progress, provide feedback, and suggest improvements. Alex had designed Nova to be patient, clear, and intuitive, a perfect companion for anyone seeking to explore the station's wonders. The AI also recorded every experiment, every adaptation, and every success, creating a comprehensive archive of human innovation combined with alien technology. One afternoon, Alex received visitors from a species known for their scientific curiosity. They requested guidance on using the station's energy systems to create sustainable research habitats across multiple moons. Alex collaborated with them, showing how human creativity could adapt alien technology to solve practical problems. Together, they designed modular energy manipulators, habitat units, and transport drones. By the end of the day, prototypes were ready for testing, and the visitors were filled with admiration. As the station's reputation grew, Alex realized that it had become more than a hub for exploration. It had become a beacon of interstellar cooperation. Species from different systems arrived not to compete but to learn, share, and collaborate. Ideas flowed freely, experiments were conducted with care, and discoveries were shared openly. The station embodied a principle that Alex had come to value deeply. Knowledge grows when it is shared, not hoarded. Even as the station expanded its influence, Alex remained humble. He knew that the true power of the station lay not in its machinery, but in the minds it inspired. Every visitor he taught, every experiment he guided, and every adaptation he developed was a testament to the human capacity for creativity and resilience. His presence on the station had transformed it, but it was the collective effort of all who came that ensured it would thrive. One day, while walking through a chamber he had restored months ago, Alex paused to reflect. Holographic star maps floated. Above him, drones moved in coordinated patterns, and Nova monitored every system. He remembered the day he had first been abandoned, the panic that had gripped him, and the fear that he might never escape. Now, the station was a living monument to human ingenuity, capable of inspiring countless beings across the galaxy. He realized that the greatest achievement was not the repairs, the vehicles, or the energy manipulators. It was the way the station had become a bridge between civilizations. It was proof that human creativity, patience, and intelligence could unlock possibilities that no one had imagined. Alex felt a sense of fulfillment deeper than any he had ever known. Visitors often asked about the early days, when he had been alone. Alex shared those stories openly, emphasizing how isolation had taught him to observe, experiment, and think creatively. He explained that the station's systems, while advanced, required a human mind to interpret patterns, solve problems, and unlock potential. Every listener left with a renewed appreciation for the power of human ingenuity. Over time, Alex began designing projects that extended the station's capabilities even further. He developed long-range communication systems that could link with other stations, research modules capable of exploring uncharted systems, and automated programs that maintained balance and efficiency across the station. Every innovation combined human logic with alien engineering, creating solutions that were both elegant and practical. The station, once a lonely relic abandoned in orbit, had become a center of progress and learning. Holographic records documented every experiment, and Nova ensured that knowledge was preserved and shared. Visitors could explore, experiment, and innovate safely, guided by the methods Alex had perfected over years of dedicated work. The station had become a living classroom, laboratory, and symbol of possibility. In quiet moments, Alex often looked out at the gas giant below, its swirling clouds reflecting the station's lights. He reflected on the journey from fear and isolation to mastery and innovation. Being abandoned had given him the space to grow, to experiment, and to prove the limitless potential of human creativity. Now, as the station buzzed with activity, he knew that the story of human ingenuity had become legendary. Nova projected a holographic summary of the station's activity, new experiments, successful missions, and visitors' innovations. Alex studied the projections and felt pride, not just in what he had accomplished, but in what humans could accomplish anywhere in the universe. The station was a testament to creativity, patience, and resilience, and it carried the human legacy forward across star systems. As more visitors arrived, the station's influence continued to grow. It became a place where ideas could flourish, knowledge could be shared, and innovation could thrive. Species that had never interacted before collaborated, inspired by the human engineer who had unlocked the station's potential. Alex realized that the station was no longer just his project. It was a hub of interstellar learning and cooperation. At the center of it all, Alex stood with Nova, overseeing the activity, guiding experiments, and sharing knowledge. He knew that the station would continue to evolve, discovering new secrets and inspiring future generations. And he also knew that the story of a human abandoned on an alien station had become a legend, proof that intelligence, creativity, and perseverance could turn isolation into opportunity and transform a forgotten place into a beacon of progress. As Alex looked out across the glowing corridors and the activity of the visitors, he smiled. He had begun as a human alone, facing fear and uncertainty. Now, he was the guide of a legendary station, showing that humans could achieve greatness, not through force but through ingenuity, patience, and collaboration. The station would continue to grow, expand, and inspire, and at its Alex Mercer had been living on the alien station for months now. The loneliness that had once pressed down on him like the weight of the void had faded. In its place was purpose, curiosity, and a growing confidence in his own abilities. He had learned to read the station in ways that went beyond human understanding, feeling its rhythms, anticipating its responses, and even predicting the behavior of systems he had never activated. His first task each day remained the same: explore a new area, understand the technology, and test his hypotheses. But as time passed, Alex began to notice patterns not just in the machinery but in the station itself. It had an intelligence, subtle but unmistakable, that guided him toward challenges suited to his skills. It was almost as if the station recognized him as its partner, and together, they were meant to unlock its full potential. One morning, while exploring a corridor lined with crystalline panels that glowed faintly, Alex stumbled upon a room unlike any he had seen before. It was enormous, with a domed ceiling that reflected light in intricate patterns, creating the illusion of a galaxy suspended above him. In the center of the chamber floated a device that pulsed with energy. It seemed dormant, yet it resonated with a quiet invitation. Alex approached carefully. Touching the device, he felt a hum that traveled through his fingers and up his arm. A holographic projection appeared, showing schematics that shifted and rearranged themselves as if responding to his curiosity. The design was complex, but Alex's human intuition guided him. He began adjusting connections, aligning energy flows and configuring circuits. Slowly, the device activated, and light spread across the room like the dawn of a new day. It was a moment of triumph, and Alex allowed himself a smile. He had learned that understanding the station required patience, observation, and creativity. It was not about force or speed, it was about thinking, imagining, and experimenting. He realized that his human mind, with its flexibility and curiosity, was uniquely suited to unlock the station's potential. With Nova, his AI companion, at his side, Alex began to expand his work. Nova could analyze patterns far faster than he could, calculating probabilities and predicting outcomes. Together, they repaired long-dormant energy conduits, recalibrated environmental systems, and even experimented with creating new tools using alien technology. Alex had adapted many of the station's components to human use, turning alien machines into instruments he could operate efficiently. One of the most exciting discoveries came in the form of the station's communication arrays. Initially, Alex had sent out messages in the hope that anyone might hear him. The arrays were vast, capable of transmitting signals across star systems. But as he learned to interface with them, he realized they could do much more. Using a combination of human logic and alien protocols, Alex was able to send messages that not only communicated, but translated ideas across different languages and species. The station became a hub of innovation under Alex's guidance. He experimented with creating small vehicles that could navigate the station's internal systems, drones that could repair and maintain machinery, and even devices that could manipulate energy fields to assist in construction. Each success reinforced the sense that the station was not merely a structure, but a living partner in his work. Despite the incredible progress, Alex faced challenges. Some areas of the station remained resistant to his efforts. Doors would not open, machines would not respond. and energy surges sometimes caused temporary system failures. Yet each obstacle was a lesson. Alex learned to observe more closely, to analyze deeply, and to approach problems with flexibility and creativity. Failure was not a setback. It was part of the process of learning and discovery. During one particularly long session, Alex uncovered a hidden chamber filled with crystalline data cores. Each core contained vast amounts of information, including star maps, scientific data, and designs for advanced technology. As he activated the cores one by one, holographic projections filled the room, revealing the ingenuity of the station's creators. He marveled at the elegant logic of alien engineering, the precision of their designs, and the vision that had created a station capable of operating for centuries without human intervention. Alex realized that these cores could be the key to expanding his understanding even further. By studying them, he could adapt alien knowledge to human needs, bridging the gap between two civilizations separated by time, space, and biology. It was a challenge unlike any he had faced before, but he felt ready. The station had taught him patience, observation, and creativity, and now it offered him the opportunity to innovate on a scale he had never imagined. With Nova's assistance, Alex began developing prototypes that combined human ingenuity with alien technology. Small devices, drones, and energy manipulators emerged under his careful guidance. Each prototype was tested rigorously, refined, and improved. Alex documented everything, leaving records in a format that could be understood by any species capable of learning from his work. He imagined that someday, explorers from other civilizations might visit the station and benefit from the lessons he had uncovered. The station itself seemed to respond to his efforts. Hallways glowed more brightly, systems operated more efficiently, and previously dormant machinery hummed with activity. It was as if the station recognized that Alex had moved beyond survival into mastery. Together they were creating something new, not just a living space, but a laboratory, a hub of knowledge, and a testament to human ingenuity. One evening, Alex paused on a platform overlooking the gas giant below. Its swirling clouds reflected the station's lights, creating a breathtaking display of color and energy. He thought about how far he had come. When he had first been abandoned, the station had seemed intimidating and lifeless. Now it was vibrant, responsive, and full of potential. His human mind had unlocked its secrets, and in doing so, he had transformed isolation into opportunity. The discovery of the alien vehicle prototype remained one of his greatest achievements. He had refined its controls, understood its energy requirements, and adapted interfaces to human use. The vehicle could manipulate energy fields, move within the station effortlessly, and potentially explore beyond the station itself. Alex envisioned a future where he could travel to other parts of the system, collecting data, experimenting, and continuing the legacy of the station's creators. As weeks passed, word began to reach distant systems, though Alex did not yet know it. Signals from the station, though initially dormant, had begun broadcasting subtle pulses into space. These signals were not intentional at first, just byproducts of his activity, yet they carried the signature of human ingenuity, a unique pattern that other civilizations could detect. The station, guided by his work, was beginning to announce its presence. Alex's days were filled with discovery, experimentation, and creation. He adapted systems, built new tools, and documented every lesson. Nova continued to assist, projecting simulations, predicting outcomes, and helping him refine his techniques. Together, they had formed a partnership that blurred the line between human and machine, past and future. Yet Alex remained humble. He knew that the station's creators had left behind vast knowledge, and he had only begun to understand it. There were countless systems yet to explore, countless machines yet to activate, and countless lessons yet to learn. His work was not about glory or recognition. It was about discovery, understanding, and the joy of solving complex problems. One day, he accessed a chamber filled with energy cores that could power entire sections of the station indefinitely. Using these cores, he began constructing more advanced tools and devices. He created drones capable of independent movement, energy manipulators for experiments, and systems that could repair and maintain the station automatically. Each success reinforced the idea that human creativity, combined with alien engineering, could achieve extraordinary results. Alex reflected on the journey that had brought him here. Being abandoned had once seemed like the end of everything he valued. Now it was the beginning of something extraordinary. The station was no longer just a structure in space, it was a living partner, a laboratory of knowledge and a monument to human ingenuity. He had turned isolation into opportunity, fear into curiosity, and emptiness into innovation. As he prepared to rest for the night, Alex gazed at the gas giant below and the starry expanse beyond. He felt a sense of purpose deeper than anything he had known. The station, once dormant and forgotten, was alive with potential. And he, a human engineer abandoned on a distant station, was its master, its student, and its collaborator. In that moment, he understood the truth. The station was more than a home, more than technology. It was a testament to the power of human creativity. And with every discovery, every repair, and every innovation, Alex Mercer was proving that humans were capable of achieving the extraordinary, even in the farthest reaches of space. Alex Mercer had always believed that space travel was the ultimate adventure. As a human engineer aboard the research fleet Aurora, he had explored countless alien systems, studied mysterious phenomena, and repaired technology that even his own species could barely understand. But nothing in his life had prepared him for being abandoned. It started with a sudden emergency. The fleet had detected a strange energy surge near a gas giant orbiting a distant star. Captain Lee ordered an immediate evacuation of the station orbiting the planet. Amid the chaos, Alex had been deep inside the maintenance corridors, examining a malfunctioning energy conduit. By the time he ran back, the docking bay was empty. The ship had left. Alex froze. For a moment, disbelief held him in place. The metallic hum of the station's systems, usually comforting, now seemed eerie and cold. No one had anticipated that anyone could be left behind, and yet here he was, alone. The first hours were the hardest. Alex had enough supplies for short-term survival, rations, water packs, and oxygen reserves. But the station was massive, almost alive with its dormant technology. Every corridor seemed to stretch endlessly, and the alien architecture, strange curves, glowing panels, and intricate glyphs, made navigation difficult. Even familiar instruments were confusing. The station was old, perhaps centuries older than any human settlement, and its creators were unknown. Alex's first priority was survival. He found a central hub that appeared to control the station's life support systems. After carefully examining the panels, he realized that while he could not read the alien script, he could follow logical patterns. Using his engineering intuition, he reactivated parts of the life support. Lights flickered on, air circulation improved, and a low hum of energy filled the corridors. For the first time since being left behind, he felt a spark of hope. Despite the relief, isolation weighed heavily. There were no voices, no friendly AI, no familiar hum of his fellow crew. Alex explored cautiously, mapping corridors and chambers in his mind. The station seemed enormous, more like a city than a single facility. Some rooms were filled with strange machinery, others with empty halls of glowing panels and suspended walkways. He touched the controls, sometimes accidentally activating doors that opened with a hiss, revealing even more complex spaces. One evening, or at least what he thought of as evening, since the station had no day-night cycle, Alex discovered something remarkable. A chamber at the station's core had a dormant holographic interface. Curiosity overcame exhaustion. He touched the interface and suddenly, glowing symbols floated around him. Lines of energy traced the architecture, forming a map of the entire station. Alex's pulse quickened. It was enormous. This place was more than a station. It was a hub. The map seemed to respond to his movements. Sections that had been inaccessible slowly revealed pathways, and doors that had remained sealed for decades now slid open. It was as if the station recognized him, testing whether he was capable, patient, and intelligent enough to unlock its potential. Days passed. Alex established a routine: explore, repair, understand. He adapted quickly. Dormant machinery was cleaned and restored. Broken circuits were rewired. Panels were touched and pressed, combinations tested until lights and systems activated. Slowly the station came alive under his careful attention. What was once a silent monument to a forgotten civilization now pulsed with energy, following the rhythm of his ingenuity. During one of his explorations, Alex stumbled upon a storage bay filled with alien supplies. Some were edible. Some seemed to contain materials that could be repurposed. Alex had never felt more like a pioneer. Here, in isolation, his skills were not just useful. They were essential. The station had secrets, and he was the only one who could discover them. Curiosity led him deeper. He entered a chamber filled with intricate alien devices, suspended in stasis. They hummed faintly, waiting. Alex's human mind raced with possibilities. Could he activate these? Could he learn their purpose? One small device responded to a touch. A soft glow expanded, projecting a three-dimensional schematic of a star system, planets rotating around a sun, lines connecting nodes. It was a navigational chart, but not one he had ever seen. It seemed ancient and futuristic at the same time. Alex realized something extraordinary. This station was designed for someone clever enough to understand it, to interact with it and make it functional again. And in his solitude, he had become that someone. His mind buzzed with excitement and determination. For the first time, being abandoned didn't feel like misfortune. It felt like destiny. He spent weeks learning the station's systems. He found that some parts could be reprogrammed, while others required creative solutions. Alex was amazed by the logic and engineering embedded by the alien creators. It was sophisticated, elegant, and entirely different from anything humans had built. Yet somehow his human intuition made sense of it. He realized that engineering was universal. The principles of logic, energy flow, and problem-solving transcended species. Alex also began to notice patterns in the station's responses. Lights would guide him along certain paths. Doors would open after he completed a set of repairs. Panels seemed to teach him their functions in subtle ways. It was as if the station itself was alive, or at least aware. Alex often paused in awe, realizing he was part of something extraordinary. Despite the station's wonders, solitude was never easy. He recorded messages, left notes for himself, and documented every discovery. Sometimes he spoke aloud, sharing his thoughts with the station as if it could understand him, and perhaps in some way it did. The interface, the machines, the hum of energy, they responded to his creativity and care. One day, Alex activated a massive chamber in the station's core. The doors slid open with a soft hiss, revealing what looked like a prototype alien vehicle. It was sleek, suspended in a field of glowing energy with interfaces that seemed to call to him. Alex's heart raced. This was more than technology. It was a bridge to exploration, a tool that could expand his reach far beyond the station. As he examined it, a thought struck him. The station had been waiting for someone like him. Someone patient, intelligent, and determined. Someone who could transform abandonment into opportunity. The more Alex explored, the more he realized that his presence had awakened the station, and in return the station was teaching him secrets that no human had ever known. Night after night, Alex worked. He repaired, adapted, and experimented. The station responded in ways that surprised him, almost as if it had a personality. Lights would dim and brighten as if acknowledging his presence. Holographic panels shifted, guiding him to hidden areas. Every success was a step toward mastery, every failure a lesson learned. By the time Alex paused to rest, he understood the profound truth. He was no longer just a human engineer abandoned on an alien station. He was a pioneer, a discoverer, and perhaps even a teacher of technology that spanned civilizations. The station was alive with potential, and he was the key. As he looked out from a viewing platform at the gas giant below, its swirling clouds illuminated by distant starlight, Alex felt a deep sense of awe. Alone in a universe so vast, abandoned by his own people, he had found purpose. The station, once silent and forgotten, was beginning a new chapter. And Alex Mercer, human engineer, would be at its heart, shaping its legend. For the first time, being abandoned didn't feel like an end. It was a beginning. Alex Mercer woke to the soft hum of energy flowing through the station. Overnight, he had rerouted power to several dormant sectors, and faint lights pulsed rhythmically along the corridors. Each flicker and glow seemed like the station itself acknowledging his presence. Over time, the loneliness that had first overwhelmed him began to feel less like a burden and more like an opportunity. In isolation, he could experiment freely, without oversight, without distraction, and the station was the perfect canvas. He started the day by exploring the areas the station's holographic map had revealed. Doors that had once remained sealed opened as he approached, guided by subtle lights along the floor. Alex realized the station was almost intelligent, subtly responding to his movements. Every hallway, every chamber seemed designed not just for function but for discovery. The alien creators had left puzzles and challenges, and he had begun to see them as invitations rather than obstacles. In one vast room, Alex discovered a bank of devices suspended in energy fields, seemingly inactive for centuries. They resembled tools, instruments, and strange machines that no human had ever seen before. He approached carefully, touching the closest device. A soft glow spread across its surface, projecting a set of instructions in alien glyphs. Alex could not read them, but the logic was familiar. Patterns repeated, circuits aligned, and sequences formed. He began experimenting, adjusting connections, pressing panels in ways that felt instinctive. Hours turned into days as Alex deciphered more of the station's systems. He learned that it contained energy conduits far more efficient than anything humans had built. Some systems seemed capable of controlling gravity, manipulating light, or even creating temporary environmental changes. Alex realized that if he could master these mechanisms, he could live comfortably on the station for months, perhaps years. His first practical success was the reactivation of the station's water filtration and food synthesis units. By carefully rerouting power and combining alien techniques with his human engineering knowledge, Alex produced clean water and simple, nutritious meals. The taste was unusual but edible, and it brought a profound sense of accomplishment. He realized that survival did not have to be struggle. It could be an experiment, a puzzle to solve and a joy to master. One day, as he wandered a corridor that had remained dark for weeks, Alex discovered a chamber unlike any other. The walls glimmered with holographic projections of star systems. Planets rotated, moons orbited, and energy lines connected distant nodes. At the center floated a large, transparent console waiting to be activated. Alex hesitated. He had never seen technology like this before, and a small part of him wondered if he should proceed. Curiosity, however, always won. He touched the console. Symbols swirled and rearranged, forming maps, diagrams, and instructions. Though he could not read the alien language, the sequences were clear enough to follow. With each adjustment, the holograms became more detailed, showing corridors, hidden rooms, and even energy signatures that pulsed like a heartbeat. Alex realized this was the heart of the station, a place that recorded its past and guided its future. As the days passed, Alex's routine grew more structured. He would explore a new section, repair or adapt systems, and then return to the central hub to analyze his progress. The station began responding more actively. Lights pulsed in anticipation of his arrival. Panels opened automatically when he approached. Even subtle environmental changes occurred, like air temperature adjusting to his comfort and soft sounds marking the activation of new systems. Alex began to feel less like a human among machines and more like a collaborator with an alien intelligence. One of the most remarkable discoveries was a series of dormant AI cores. They had no voices, no personalities, but their logic circuits were intact. With careful work, Alex brought one online. It analyzed patterns, predicted outcomes, and assisted in complex calculations. He named it Nova, and it became a companion, helping him navigate systems far beyond his solo capabilities. Nova did not speak in words, but projected holographic patterns that communicated ideas clearly. With it, Alex could attempt tasks that would have been impossible alone. Weeks turned into months. Alex's isolation did not feel lonely anymore. Each day brought a new discovery. Some rooms revealed alien artifacts whose purpose he could only guess. Others held dormant laboratories and crafting stations that allowed him to create new tools and devices. He even began constructing simple vehicles and devices that adapted alien technology to human use. The station was becoming a laboratory of innovation, and he was the first human ever to truly understand it. During his exploration, Alex noticed subtle signs of the station's history. Holographic messages appeared when he activated certain chambers, showing alien beings working with technology, trading goods, and collaborating across species. Alex realized the station had been a hub of interstellar knowledge and culture, abandoned long ago for reasons unknown. Its creators had left behind not only technology, but guidance for anyone capable of unlocking it. It was almost as if the station had waited for him. One day, Nova projected a complex diagram of a chamber Alex had not yet accessed. Following the instructions, he discovered a prototype vehicle suspended in a glowing energy field. The shape was elegant, aerodynamic, and otherworldly. Panels of the station interacted with it as if inviting Alex to learn its functions. He carefully studied the interfaces, realizing that the vehicle could manipulate energy fields, move in ways that defied normal physics, and potentially travel beyond the station itself. The excitement of this discovery was overwhelming. Alex worked tirelessly, experimenting with the vehicle, adjusting energy flows, and calibrating controls. Each success reinforced the feeling that the station had purpose and he was the one meant to fulfill it. The vehicle could expand his reach, perhaps even allow him to explore beyond the gas giant's orbit without leaving the safety of the station. Despite the progress, Alex faced challenges. Some systems were unstable. Energy surges caused temporary blackouts. Dormant machinery resisted his attempts to activate it. But each obstacle became a lesson. Alex developed patience and resilience, learning to observe carefully, analyze deeply, and approach problems creatively. It was not the station that was difficult, it was the process of understanding it. At times, Alex reflected on how far he had come. He remembered the initial panic of being abandoned, the emptiness of the corridors, and the fear that he might never be rescued. Yet now he had transformed those fears into exploration, curiosity, and discovery. He had built routines, restored ancient technology, and even created a companion in Nova. The station, once silent and intimidating, was alive with activity. It had become a place of learning, innovation, and possibility. One evening, as Alex rested on a platform overlooking the gas giant, he considered the broader implications. The station contained knowledge, technology, and tools that no human had ever seen. If he could find a way to share these discoveries, even indirectly, it could transform understanding across star systems. He felt the weight of responsibility, but also the thrill of potential. Being abandoned had given him the rare opportunity to become not just a survivor, but a pioneer and innovator. By the end of the month, Alex had accomplished something extraordinary. He had mastered parts of the station's energy systems, repaired ancient machinery, and awakened new technology that hinted at interstellar possibilities. He had created tools and methods that combined human ingenuity with alien sophistication. And through it all, he had learned that patience, observation, and creativity could unlock secrets far greater than brute force or speed. As Alex prepared for another day of exploration, he glanced at the central hub, where lights pulsed and panels glimmered. The station had become more than a structure. It was a living monument to discovery, a place where human intelligence could interact with alien design. He felt a surge of pride and excitement. His journey had only just begun, and the station had countless mysteries yet to reveal. For the first time, Alex realized that being abandoned was not a punishment. It was an invitation. The station had recognized his talent, his patience, and his ingenuity, and in return it had awakened, offering him a partnership that no human could have imagined. Alone he was powerful. Together with the station he could create something legendary.